I'm back. Yeah, it's that horrible woman again, the one that talks complete tosh, doesn't know what she's doing. Today is not a planned session, it's kind of an impromptu. You may have seen a post I put up about not being able to be very serious. I'm not a very serious person, so serious really isn't me. And I'm quite spiritual, I'm quite into supernatural, I'm quite into magical stuff, and in the past I've been referred to as a white witch. So I thought, what the hell? I will weave that into my aromatherapy. So, hence the aromatherapy magic, the twin perceptions, that's what that's all about. Anyway, I was having a think about all this. In the past, there were witches, according to mythology, and witches were burnt at the stake. And it's got me thinking actually about witches. Now, witches supposedly made potions. What's to say they weren't aromatherapists, putting together all their essential oils to help people? They could have been. I mean, I use things like, I've been doing a lot of things on runes and stuff lately. And this is one that I did, which is meant to help symbolise the presence of Jenny. Now, for those of you who don't know, Jenny is my twin sister, who is no longer in the realm of the living. She's actually in the spirit realm. But Jenny's very much with me in spirit. And I'm going to light a candle now for her, because she's always with me. And this candle symbolises Jenny's presence here with us today. And I know she's going to be rolling her eyes at me now, going, get on with it. Stop waffling. Get to the point. And she'll be whispering stuff in my ear and trying to make me laugh. Because that's just what Jenny used to do. Whenever we were together, we'd be in hysterics, rolling with laughter, not being serious, because where's the fun in being serious? Have a laugh, have some fun. And this candle is for you, Jen, and I welcome you into my space today to join me on this TikTok live. And if you do have anything, any wisdom, anything that you'd like to say to these lovely people that probably are, they're going to be watching me. Yeah, if you're here, Jen, I am going to stop waffling. I know you'll be telling me to stop waffling. This candle's for you, love. I know you're here with me. Jenny is with us in spirit today, and this candle's for her. So I'm going to put that somewhere safe. That's my candle for my Jen, who is my twin that's in spirit. That is where the name Twin Perceptions came from also. You probably wondered. It's because I'm an identical twin, but unfortunately I'll call her my better half, because I always think she is the better half. She lost a very long battle with breast cancer at the end of 2022. So I'm now having to navigate this maze of a world without her. But I've been reliably informed that she is with me all the time. And usually when I think she's there, she probably is. And when I had my Reiki session the other week, I felt something touch my face here. And I'm almost certain it was her, either stroking my cheek or giving me a kiss. And the lady that did the Reiki session said she was there with me in the room. And that just, I don't know, it just made my heart swell. I have felt her presence, and I do hear these little voices in my head, and it's not always my voice I'm hearing, it's sometimes hers. So that's probably her just, giving me a nudge and saying, come on, Jackie, you know what to do it. And these little whispers, yeah, I know. If you see me talking to myself, I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to her. She was very much like me. Those of you that know me, you'll know that we were just a scream when we were together, and we were always getting up to mischief, always having a laugh, Jen was so artistic. She was very, very talented artist. She loved it. She loved painting. She liked drawing. She was great at doing crafts and stuff. I've never really, I mean, I did GCSE art at school, but I never really got into the craft side of things. I've been dabbling a little bit more now, so that I can do a little bit more artsy stuff to go along with my stuff for you, so that it's not all just me waffling like I am now. And I know she'll tell me to stop waffling and get on with it. But another thing I've done, which, I mean, it's not all about aromatherapy for me, there's other stuff as well. I did start myself a journal that I kind of write things in. I mean, I've got affirmations and stuff that I've been doing. I've got a page which says I'm worthy of. I've got a page that says I'm grateful for, and I've kind of listed things that I think I'm worthy of and that I'm grateful for. Things like I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for warmth. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for my followers, all of you that are following me and watching me. I'm grateful to all of you. I'm worthy. I'm worthy of gratitude. I'm worthy of loyalty. I'm worthy of good health. I'm worthy of trust. These are all, I mean, positive things. Apparently when you write them down, it can help manifest them. And I very much believe that. I've got another page that says I believe good things on the horizon. I believe in myself, because I think self-belief is very, very important. I believe in the power of aromatherapy, and I've said that in some of my other videos. I believe in the power of essential oils. I believe in my ability to help others, and I can help others by doing my aromatherapy and by doing my massage. I believe I can accomplish anything. I think that applies to everybody. We can accomplish whatever we put our minds to. With a little bit of effort, a little bit of confidence, I don't think there's anything that you cannot accomplish. And I surprised myself by being able to do my aromatherapy diploma, because as I've said in one of my previous videos, I've never been good at learning from reading. So to get my diploma, it was just like, wow, I've actually done this. And at my age, which I haven't told you yet, and I will, I promised I would at the end of this live, but I need some of you to try and guess first and see if you can get close to how old you think I am. But at the end of this live, I will tell you how old I am. But at my age, I didn't think I'd get a diploma. So I was so chuffed. My husband was very poorly at the end of last year. He had sepsis and a stroke, and he was in hospital for 6 weeks. And while he was in hospital, I did a positive page for him. It's going to appear back to front for you probably. But my husband's name's Paul. And I wrote lots of positive comments on there. And I lit some incense, and I used some essential oils, and I tried to attract positivity and send him healing energies. And the sorts of things that I wrote down for him were willpower, health, functionality, love, confidence, stability, mobility, family, healing, protection, determination, all these positive words which I was trying to send to him to help him with the healing process. And my essential oils were very much in the forefront of all of that as well. I relied heavily on them. I did a little bit of meditation, and I was using things like chamomile and lavender and jasmine to help me relax and get into my meditative state, because my mind is just, I've got a very busy mind, and I find it very, very difficult to kind of shut off and stop the brainwaves from going. So for me to do meditation, I find it very, very difficult, and things like essential oils and stuff like that do help me. Who have I got in here today? I've got Empath. Hello, Empath. Lovely to see you, darling. I haven't spoken to you today, but hi, sweetheart. Lovely to see you. Ruth, hello. Who else have we got? I'm not ignoring you all. I don't know who's still with me and who's not. So please do say hi if you're still in chat, and I will respond to you. What else have we got? I've got another one where I did 2025 and I wrote all the things down that I wanted to achieve in 2025. Like, I want to adapt. I want to succeed. I've put love down, learn, support, thrive, evolve, grow, empathy, abundance, health, positivity. These are all things that you can do as well, that alongside your journey with whatever it is you're doing for your wellness, whether it's aromatherapy, whether it's crystals, whether it's affirmations, whether it's meditation, whether it's sound baths, whatever it is. I think everybody can probably do like a little book like this where you just write positive stuff down. And I wrote down here, I'm going to thrive in the year of 25. That was one of my positive statements for the beginning of the year, was thrive in 25, and I'm sticking to that. I'm going to continue to learn and grow, and I don't think there's ever a time when we stop learning. I've got my aromatherapy and I can do my massage and my aromatherapy massage, but hopefully at the end of the year I'm going to start including Reiki with that as well. I'm going to be learning Reiki, which I'm really, really looking forward to. Since I had my own Reiki session with my dear friend Dee, it's something that I think ties in beautifully with the aromatherapy. I had also looked at reflexology, but that one didn't really, I don't know, it didn't really call to me as much as the Reiki has. I think another thing that I wrote down is there's so much power in believing that everything will work out, even when you don't know how or when. You just believe that it will, and I think that is such a powerful statement. And it's one of the affirmations that I've been using. On the back, I'm going back to essential oils again, because I don't really want to go off of my purpose here. I mean, I haven't got a set purpose here. I'm just here to share knowledge, to share my experiences of what I've felt since I've embarked on this new path of mine, my rebirth, if you like. Everything has changed, and even though she's still with me, and I know she is, she's not actually walking the earth with me anymore. She's not here, in her physical presence isn't here, and I still find that incredibly hard to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Hi G. We were so close, like most twins are. We were very, very close. I was very tuned into her. I used to know if something was wrong. I'd instinctively know, and I'd phone her or text her, and she'd say, how did you know? And I said, I don't know, I just knew. I knew she was pregnant with her 2 children before she told me, because I had all of her pregnancy symptoms. I was getting morning sickness. I had other symptoms of pregnancy, and I'm thinking, well, that I can't be pregnant. I even did a pregnancy test to make sure I wasn't. And then I said to her one day on lunch break, is there something you're not telling me? And she said, don't know, why? I said, oh, I don't know, because I'm getting morning sickness and I'm not pregnant. And she went, yes, I am. And I just knew, I knew she was. And that happened both times when she had her daughter Chloe, and when she was pregnant with Tommy. Both times I knew before she told me. So my path to aromatherapy started with her passing. But I've looked at it as a door opening, and I firmly believe that I am being guided by my lovely Jen, and I think she's the one that's given me the nudge to get into this. And she's used aromatherapy, she's used essential oils in the past. When she was in hospital, when she was getting poorly, she had a diffuser, and she did use essential oils in it to try and help her to relax and go off to sleep. And I think she was the reason that I got my diffuser, because I saw hers, like, oh, that's really lovely, because it's one of the ones where the lights change, and you can just put whatever essential oils you want in it. I've got on my where is it? On my Kindle, there's actually a book. If you've got Kindle and you've got a diffuser for putting oils in, have a look for. Let me find the name of it. There's a book you can get on Kindle. It's called Diffusers for Essential Oils. Let me see if I can get a picture of the front page for you. I can't. Let me look at the cover. Go to cover. So I don't know whether you can see that. Probably can't because it's on my phone screen. No, it's not showing up very well. Anyway, it's diffusers for essential oils, and it's got a diffuser, and it's got some little bottles of oils and some flowers on it. There are loads and loads of essential oil recipes in there that you can use in your diffuser, which I quite often refer to that. And it's got the basic guidelines, and you've got things like air purifier, allergy relief. For instance, allergy buster, you can use 3 drops of peppermint, 3 drops of lavender, 3 drops of lemon. There's so many in here. Some of them are lovely. There was one that I did, and I can't remember which one it was. It smelt like fresh air, and it made me think, and I think I've said this before on one of my other videos, if you think about it, air doesn't really smell. What we're really smelling is the essence of all of the plants and trees and everything around us. It's the oils from the plants that we're smelling. That's where you get the fresh air smell from, which is why when you mix certain oils together, you can mimic that. You can get that same lovely fresh air smell that you get outside. I mean, you can get air fresheners that are called fresh air. They haven't bottled air and put it into an aerosol. They've used things like essential oils to mimic the fragrance. And you can do exactly the same. What else have we got in here? There's oils to help you, like blends to help you wake up. So sunshine and motivation. It says if you add 3 drops of bergamot and 3 drops of lang lang, and it will help you wake up. To help you breathe if you've got a stuffy nose. 2 drops of eucalyptus, 1 drop of lemon, 2 drops of peppermint. As I said, it's called, I've forgotten what I said it's called. If you look up diffuser blends on diffusers for essential oils, if you look that up on Kindle, you'll be able to find it. And there's so many different recipes on there. I don't think there's 350 diffuser recipes for health, mind, body and soul. So you can't go wrong, even if you only use one of them. I mean, I've got a few in there that are my favourites, but I've also dabbled and tried to come up with my own. I love the smells that you get at Christmas. So ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, orange. So I quite often put sweet orange, ginger, cinnamon and clove in my diffuser, and then you get like a beautiful Christmassy aroma, the same aroma you get when you're making Christmas cake and stuff like that. And it's just wonderful. I don't know whether any of you have seen the video I've posted recently. Have a look at the end of this one. It talks about the history of aromatherapy and how our ancient ancestors used aromatherapy. And scent can provoke memory. I don't know whether any of you have picked up a fragrance of something and you thought, and it suddenly brought a memory back into your head. It's because that scent, when you inhale something new, it helps to imprint things into your memory. So, for instance, with me, if I get the scent of fresh tobacco when somebody's rolling or putting tobacco in a pipe or rolling tobacco, I don't remember my mum's dad very much, but I do remember that I used to sit on the side of his chair while he was filling his pipe with tobacco. So when I smell fresh tobacco, it invoked that memory. There's certain perfumes that invoke memories. When I get a waft of a certain perfume and it reminds me of my mum. I'm sure all of you are the same. I'm sure you've all got things that you smell. Have any of you have you come across that? Have you come across a smell and you thought, oh, that's just reminded me of something that I'd completely forgotten? And that's because when you originally smelt that fragrance, it's in whatever you were doing at the time, it's imprinted that into your memory. And I think scent can also provoke bad memories. If you've had a bad experience and there was a particular aroma that you picked up on when you had that bad experience, smelling that aroma again can invoke that bad experience again and give you the bad memories, which is why it's so important, particularly for me when doing aromatherapy, that I check with somebody to make sure there aren't any fragrances that they don't like, because the last thing I'd want to do is use oils on somebody that's going to invoke a bad memory. Are there any of you that have got oils that fragrances that, does that resonate with any of you? Do any of you have like a scent that kind of generates a good memory or a bad memory? I mean, feel free to share, I don't mind. I'm just trying to think what other scents bring memories for me. Tobacco was the main one because it reminded me of Grandad, but no, I can't think of anything anymore off the top of my head. I think in nature, I think my favourite is just after fresh rainfall, when everything's fresh and the raindrops have been hitting all the plants and it's released their natural aroma into the air. That beautiful fresh smell that you get when you go outside. That's one of my favourites. Roses. I love roses. And I tell you the other one I like is, I've got a huge bay tree in my garden and I use bay leaves quite a lot in cooking. And don't laugh, but I always talk to the tree before I pick the leaf and thank it for allowing me to take from it. And I think it's important. That's important for me to do that. And when I pick the leaf, I crack it and then smell it, and the fragrance that comes out that bay leaf is just divine, and I think it's wonderful. It's one of the oils that I don't actually have yet. My mother-in-law did buy me a distiller, and I did give it a go, but I must have done it wrong. I need to read the instructions again. I was having a go at making some bay tree oil, but it didn't quite work. But I've got it in the utility room, so I will give it another go, and I'll have a go at making some bay, and I'll report back and let you know how it goes. But I love the smell of bay. I've also got lavender in the garden, rosemary, thyme. I did have loads of lemon balm, and it just, because the lemon balm just grows like weed. I suppose it is a weed, but I had it all the way around my garden, and that, it almost smells like lemon sherbet. That brought back memories of when I was little, and I used to like the lemon sherbet sweets. Do you remember them? The little hard lemony sweets which had sherbet in the middle. So lemon balm, that's another thing that's invoked a memory for me. Is it reminded me of my childhood and having lemon sherbet sweets. I'm rambling again now, aren't I? But sometimes I think it's best to ramble, because then I always say to my children, sometimes the best things that happen are the ones that aren't planned. I don't like planning stuff. My mum always used to say to me, never tell the devil your plans. And I can understand why now, because usually when I plan something goes wrong to stop it. But you know what? Negativity, I'm not going to listen to you anymore, and I am going to be positive, and you're not going to ruin my plans, and things are going to go well anyway. And I think we can all have that same attitude. We don't have to listen to negativity. We can remain positive, and we can achieve a lot by being positive, being strong, being determined, looking after ourselves, looking after our bodies, looking after our skin, trying to be mindful, Am I a witch? Am I a hippie? I don't know. I don't care. I do what I love, and aromatherapy and mindfulness and anything like that, I love it. And I just want to be able to share it with you all. Did you know it was a full moon last night, by the way? Any of you turn into a werewolf? I didn't. I don't think. Sorry, I'm just having a read of something. I've got a twisted hazel in my garden, and I was actually going to make myself a wand. You're going to have to let me know if you think this is a good idea, because I talked about making this more magical. What I was going to do is make myself a wand out of the twisted hazel, and then when I do my blends on live, I was going to get myself a little mini cauldron, and then I can do magical blends with you. And I thought that was quite a cool idea, but I need to get myself a little cauldron. And I did go down the garden, and I did talk to my hazel tree and say, point me in the right direction. I want to make a wand. And I did feel drawn to this particular one, and it's on the table outside. I've not done anything with it yet. Last night would have been a good chance to do it because it was a full moon, but I was tired and I forgot. Oops. But I was looking on the internet, and one of the because obviously I've spoken to you about the fact that I've got a twin that's in spirit, and the symbol that I'm going to carve onto my wand is this. Don't know whether you can see that, and I think that's absolutely stunning. I don't know how I'm going to do it without ruining it, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. There it is in black format, and I'm going to stick these in my manifestation book. I also don't actually have a therapy room at the moment, but we've got a spare bedroom, and I'm going to make that my therapy room. And my colour scheme is things like deep plum, lavender, rose, grey, gold. So my therapy room will be all in those colours, which I think will be lovely. I asked Copilot to do a illustration for me, and it came up with this, which I don't know. I like the deep plum. There's definitely going to be gold in there. I've got my Himalayan salt lamp, which I think is lovely. My friend Paula gave that to me. Paula, if you watch this back, thank you. I do use your Himalayan salt lamp, and I think it's wonderful. And it was such a lovely gift, so thank you. I've got my Himalayan salt lamp. I will tell you what else I've got here. Because yes, we are actually in my room at the moment where I sleep, but it's quieter up here because I've got the dishwasher going downstairs. My dream catcher, I have this hung beside my bed, and I hope it catches bad dreams and traps them. Put that back. I've got 3 dream catchers actually, but that was the only one that I've got hanging here. I've got one that's on a key ring. I don't carry it around with me because I don't want to ruin it, because I think the feathers would come off, and probably the intricate bits in the middle might break if I was to put it on my key ring and carry it around with me. But yeah, back to my therapy room. It will be similar colours to my website and everything like that. So deep plum, soft rose, soft lavender, soft grey colours, and some gold. And I've got some, like, I don't know, holistic stroke spiritual pictures that I can put on the wall. And I've got all my crystals and stuff that I've got from Mindful Souls, and I'd like to be able to pop those in there as well, because at the moment they're all sitting in a box, and that wasn't my intention. I didn't get them to leave them sat in a box in a room. I wanted them to be on display and used. I did at one point last year take all of my crystals into the garden and leave them on the glass table to charge in the moonlight. That was quite funny. Anybody that looked in the garden would have thought, what the blinking hell's she doing? Why are there all those crystals and jewellery on the table? Yeah, I wouldn't recommend leaving jewellery outside, by the way. That's not a wise idea. But these were like necklaces like this one, which has got talismans and stuff like that on it. I left them in the garden to charge in the moonlight, and then brought them all back indoors and put them in the box, and that's where they've stayed. So I do have some shelves, and I will be putting my crystals and stuff up on my shelves so that they're not in the box, and I will be using them. I also want to get myself a crystal sound bowl, because my friend Dee that did my Reiki had one, and the sound from that was amazing. I had been concerned that sound therapy wouldn't be right for me because I have hyperacusis, which means that certain sounds that are like sound normal to some people are like elevated for me, and it can actually cause quite a lot of distress and sensory overload. But this particular one that Dee used, the sound was lovely, and I want to get myself one, so I'm gonna, when I can, I'm gonna invest in a crystal sound bowl and do myself some sound therapy. Hello Ella, thank you for joining. Hi Annie. Hi Reese's Puffs. Reese's Pieces. I love Reese's Pieces. Who does not like Reese's? How can you not? I suppose if you've got peanut allergy, it's not a good idea to eat Reese's, but I love Reese's. I haven't tried all of them, but yeah, I do. I like Reese's Cups. Sorry, Reese's Puffs. I wasn't taking the mickey out of your surname. So I don't know how much of what I've been saying, some of you have probably missed it, but has any of it resonated with any of you? Have you got anything that you want to share with me? Hi Shazza, good to see you. Thank you for joining. I mean, we can. I don't know. Has any of it resonated with you? Have you got anything that you can tell me that I can perhaps give some insight on? Scents that invoke a memory, whether it's good or bad, and why you think it invokes that memory. And I think I'm just trying to think the best way to overcome it. Because if you try and replace that scent with another scent, the new scent could then invoke the bad memory as well. I'll have to come back to you on that one. I'll have to have a think about it and see how you'd be able to overcome a negative memory that's been invoked by a scent. I'll have a think on it, and I might do another video or another live about memories invoked by fragrance, and we can cover that, because I'm sure there's lots of you that have had that experience where you've suddenly caught a waft of something and it's triggered a memory that you don't like, and for some people that can be quite disturbing. It can be quite traumatizing. So if I think of a way that could be combated, that could help you, then I'm all for that. As I said, I'm here to help and guide, and if there's anything that you think I can do holistically or recommend holistically that could help you, if any of this resonates with you, just you can drop me a message privately if you don't want to put it in the chat. If you don't want people to know, that's fine. I don't disclose anything that anybody confides in me about. It's treated strictly confidential. I wouldn't discuss it with anybody. It's treated confidentially. So if there's something that you want to seek guidance on, I tell you what, for everybody that's listening live today, what's the date today? It's the 11th, isn't it? Everybody that's listening to this live, what I'm going to do is, if you drop me a message and ask me a question related to essential oils or anything like that, I will give you the best possible answer I can, or point you in the direction of where you can get help if I can't help you. And that, if you're watching live now, I will do that free of charge for you. And I will give you, I'll ask you a few questions, and then I will, based on what answers you give me, I will suggest an essential oil for you based on those questions. That offer is for everybody that's watching live today on the 11th of August, and it doesn't extend to if you're watching this on replay, unfortunately. If you're watching this on replay and you would like a consultation, you can book one. I will put a link in the comments after this live is finished with where you can book it. I do virtual consultations over Zoom, which are aromatherapy consultations. Obviously you can't do massage over Zoom because I wouldn't be massaging you. I'd be demonstrating it on somebody else, obviously. But I do virtual aromatherapy consultations over Zoom. So if you have a question, you don't want to put it here live in chat for everybody else who's watching to see, just message me privately and I will answer to the best of my ability. And if I can't answer you, then I will point you in the direction of somebody that can help you. How has everybody's day been today? Has anybody had any exciting news today that they want to share? What excitement has been in your day today? I slept this afternoon. That's about the I don't think I did anything exciting today. Obviously here, talking to all of you, that's exciting. I always like talking to you. That makes my day. But what have I done that's exciting today? If I could pull one positive from today, it was cooking in an evening meal that my whole family enjoyed. And that was like, yep, did it. Happy with that. What other positive things happened today? I know what I was going to say to you. We were talking back about essential oils. I had to go to a meeting today and I got myself in a bit of a tizzy about it and gave myself an upset tummy, which if I get nervous about something, that happens. So I called on the essential oils and I used myrrh, chamomile and bergamot in some coconut oil, and I rubbed it onto my tummy in a clockwise motion and it settled my tummy. It works. Sandalwood's good for that as well if you get an upset tummy. And you just get yourself a little dish with some carrier oil in it and put a couple of drops of sandalwood in, mix it up, and then rub that into your tummy and abdomen in a clockwise motion if you've got an upset tummy. It helps to settle it, and it's really warming too, so the feeling that you get afterwards, it's like a warm hug and it's lovely. I've used sandalwood before when I've had a poorly tummy and it really is nice. It's got a very sort of, I think sandalwood's one of the more masculine fragrances. Let me just pull my spreadsheet up if I can find it, and I'll tell you what else sandalwood's good for. There it is. Right, where's my sandalwood? Hi Sue. Hi Marv. Hi Sonnies. Thank you for joining me this evening. It's lovely to have you here. What was I looking for? Brain fog's kicked in. Sandalwood. There we go. Yeah, so sandalwood is one of the more masculine fragrances. So if you're a guy and you want to make skincare stuff, whether it be a facial oil or a cleanser or something like that. Sandalwood's probably one of the ones that would be better for you guys because it's not a pretty fragrance, unless of course you like pretty fragrances. It's got a woody, creamy, soft, slightly sweet fragrance. Hello Jade, hello Amber. And general benefits are it's meditative, it's grounding, and it's an anti-inflammatory, and it's also a skin soothing. And I haven't completely filled my spreadsheet in with that one. It's blends well with frankincense, lavender, ylang ylang, rose, and patchouli. And when you use it, if you're into affirmations, try this one when you're using sandalwood. You can say, I'm anchored in peace and divine presence. That's a lovely one. It's got sustainable sourcing as well, so it's and it's recommended gentle on the skin. You can use it in meditation, sacred anointing oil and sacred anointing oils, and skin serums. I don't think I've got sandalwood in mine. I think the one in my skin serum I've got, obviously because I've got aging skin, and I am going to tell you now because I've been keeping you hanging on. Unless anybody else wants to guess in the next 5 minutes how old you think I am. And I will tell you before the end of this live, I do have age spots. You can't see it at the moment, but I do have grey. I don't care. A year or two ago, I went for my sister, actually, on our birthday. I did my hair electric pink all over. It was awesome. On the security cameras at work, it was almost glowing. It looked like I'd been in a fluorescent pink bath, and it was awesome. But it covered all my grey, so now it's all coming back through, and I've decided that I'm going to embrace it. Might as well age gracefully. So I do have grey hair. I've got my age spots. My skin is starting to lose its elasticity. But I think, considering how old I am, which I will tell you, I don't look too bad. I think. And I've been told I don't look my age. I don't know. What do you think? If I tell you how old I am, will you tell me if I look my age? Do you reckon you can be honest and tell me? Actually, no, I probably don't. I shouldn't be asking you that because I might not like the answer. Anyway, I was born in 1973. So on the 22nd of July this year, I was 52 years young and proud of it. My lovely twin is forever 49 because she passed before our 50th birthday. She was determined to get to 50, but she didn't quite make it. She had more important work to do in the spirit. And yeah, I know you're with me. I can hear you. She's with me and she's guiding me from the other side. And she's very, very much part of Twin Perceptions. My perception and her perception combined. And yeah, so yeah, I was 52 years young this year, proud of it. A lot of people don't get a chance to get to 52, as Jen would vouch for. So I hear so many people say, oh, I don't like getting old. Enjoy it. You're lucky to be here. Even if you're not 100% healthy, if health isn't on your side, if you've got general ailments, you're still alive. You're lucky to be here. Jen's missed out on her son and daughter's life now. I mean, her children are much younger than mine, and she's missing out on all of it because she was taken too soon. She's never going to see her children get married. She's never going to see her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren. Cherish life. Yes, we get sick. Yes, we get fed up. Yes, we get bored. yes, we get frustrated, but life is so precious, and we should be thankful for everything, good and bad, because all the good and bad things that happen to us mould us into who we are. We don't like bad memories, but without those memories, you wouldn't be who you are today. Everything that's happened to you as a person has turned you into the person you are today. So when I see these posts about, would you change, if you could go back in time, would you marry the person you married? Yes, I would. If you could go back in time, would you change anything? No, I wouldn't. Because everything that's happened to me, good or bad, has turned me into who I am today. And good and bad, faults and qualities, I'm proud of who I am. And I think I have a right to be. It's not been a great 15 years since Jen was diagnosed with cancer. It's been hell, to put it bluntly, but we have to rise above it all. We have to put our best foot forward, and we have to make do with what we've got, and we have to try and remain positive. There are days that we're going to be like, I don't want to do this. I can't go on. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I can't live without her. She should be here. And I've gone through all of that, and all that does is make me spiral down, which isn't good. And my aromatherapy and my wellness and everything like that helps to lift me back up. And as much as I miss Jen and wish she was here, I wouldn't want her to go through any more suffering. And oh God, she did suffer, bless her. And as much as it pains me that I can't pick up the phone and talk to her anymore, I can't go and give her a hug, I can't have those silly girly evenings we used to have where we'd sit on the couch and roll around with laughter, I can't do that anymore. And I miss it terribly, but she's not suffering. And that gives me some comfort, because I didn't like seeing her suffer. It's one of the worst things that any of us have to witness, is watching a loved one or somebody we care about going through something as nasty as cancer. And it's not nice. There's nothing that can prepare you for it. And as much as you try to prepare for losing that person, there's nothing that can prepare you for that either. And it is incredibly hard. And sometimes I lay here at night and I tell her off for leaving. But that's wrong of me to do, because had she'd stayed, she'd still be suffering. And I think she had greater work to do. Everything that she was meant to do here was done. Her task was finished. And she had more important things to do, guiding me. From where you're guiding me now? Yeah, I know. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Cedric. Lovely for you to join me this evening. I'm kind of waffling and rambling a bit. It's not a planned live. It was kind of just an impromptu, and I'm talking about all kinds of things. As I've explained to everybody that was here earlier, my twin sister's very much with me in spirit, and I've welcomed her in today, and I've got a little. Oh, my candle's burning down too hard. My candle's properly burning down. Look, and it's gone all over my unit. I'll have to pull that off in a minute. I've got wax dripping all down the unit next to where I sit now, because I forgot I left it burning. Oh well. Oopsie. I'll have to get that off. Never mind. Yeah. I had my candle burning for Jen, who's with me in spirit. But now I've got wax everywhere. My husband will say, what have you done? How did you do that? Why is there wax all over there? Hopefully he won't notice, actually. Don't tell him. Don't tell him. I've got it all over my dress. I've got wax all over my dress now, where I picked the candle up. That was clever, wasn't it? So for tonight, I have a little task for you all. I would like all of you to... I'm trying not to, Cedric. I'll have nowhere to sleep, will I? I've blown it out now anyway. Look, it's kind of... and yeah, I've got wax all over my bedside unit. Yeah, I won't burn. Yeah, I'm not going to burn the bedroom down, I promise. Can you imagine if I'd forgot I'd lit that? Just as well I looked, isn't it? Thank you, all of you, for... Well, nobody prompted me, but you all being here and talking about Jen. That candle smells nice. I don't know what fragrance it is. I think it's rose. Yum. Would you come and put the fire out for me, Cedric? Would have tried, wouldn't have gotten far with my knees. Oh, what's the matter with your knees? Have you tried aromatherapy? I have trouble with my right knee occasionally. I can just be walking across the shop where I work, not over exerting myself, and then it suddenly gives out and I'm like, ah! And it really hurts. Apparently black seed oil and turmeric is quite good for pain, if it's pain you've got on your knee. I've not tried it personally. Joint pain's horrible. I hate joint pain. Just the arthritis getting on. Oh, we all are, darling. I'm getting on as well. As I said, I'm 52 years young this year. We're all getting on in our years. We're never going to get any younger, are we? I'm just looking to see which ones are good for arthritis. But I can't recommend any live on here anyway, because I don't know what your medical background is, and I could inadvertently recommend an oil that's not suitable for you. Because, for instance, if you've got high blood pressure, you can't use rosemary. Not you personally, Cedric, but if you're pregnant, there's oils that you can't use as well. So always check. I should have said this before. I should have said this earlier. Always check with an aromatherapist, or check for contraindications online before using essential oils. Just in case, if you've got a medical condition, always check to make sure that that oil is safe for you as a person, because what is right for one person isn't right or safe for another person. So it's like if you've got epilepsy, there's certain oils that you can't use. So epilepsy, diabetes, high blood pressure, and there's also oils that you shouldn't use before you go out in sunlight because they're phototoxic. Those are usually the citrus ones. So things like lemon, bergamot, sweet orange, they're all phototoxic. So if you're using them in a skin treatment, you shouldn't go outside in the sunlight after using them, because they can actually darken or blemish your skin. Maybe that's what I did. Maybe that's not an age spot. Maybe I used a phototoxic oil. I didn't. I tell you what I did do though. Oh, type 2. I don't know whether there's I don't know whether diabetes is actually... Let me have a look. My husband's type 2. Hang on. If you get neuropathy, there are oils that are good for that. And I know a lot of people with diabetes do get neuropathy. Which is nerve pain. And I know what nerve pain's like because I've got fibromyalgia. Rosemary and thyme have been linked to pain control, but again, you shouldn't avoid those if you've got high blood pressure. And you should avoid those if you've got diabetes as well. I'd have to come back to you on that one. You have to drop me a message, Cedric, and I'll let you know what if there's any that you could use. Because if you get neuropathy with your diabetes, I do feel for you because I know what nerve pain feels like. It's horrible. I mean, mine's widespread because it's fibromyalgia. And I'm just at the end of 2 weeks. I got signed off work because I had a major flare-up that I did not see coming. I've been pacing myself. I know my limits. And it just came from nowhere. And it knocked me on my arse, excuse my language. And the doctor said, that's it, you're off. He said, I'm signing you off for 2 weeks. You need to rest. And that's exactly what I've done for 2 weeks. I've rested. I've spent a lot of time sleeping. But for any of you that have got fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue, you know sleep is not refreshing. So it doesn't matter how much you sleep, you're still going to feel tired. And it's all about pacing yourself, knowing when to stop, and knowing that when you have a good day, you can't just charge around thinking, oh, I'm having a good day, I can do everything, I can do all my housework, I can mow the lawn, I can wash the car, I can do the shopping. Because if you do that, then the next day you're like, oh my God, what did I do that for? And you suffer for days. It's horrible. But yeah. I can't remember what I was talking about. What was I talking about, Cedric? Remind me what I was talking about. I've gone off on a tangent. I was going to show you something, actually. It's not lit at the moment because the flipping thing keeps going out. I was talking about my dragon the other day, my backflow. This is my dragon. And these are the little cones. I don't know why this one won't stay lit. It's annoying me now. So you put the little cone up there and you light it, and the smoke goes down inside his mouth and it comes down into here and then pulls down in here. And it's so pretty when it's going. Don't worry, Cedric, I'm not going to light it. And I'm not going to set fire to my bedroom. I promise. Welcome back, Cedric. I was just saying, I've got my backflow incense burner, but I'm not going to light it, Cedric, because I might forget it's lit and I don't want to burn my bedroom down, as you correctly said. My goodness, I've been going for nearly an hour. Maybe I should just do these impromptu ones and not plan them, because I can honestly say I think this is the best one I've done so well. For me personally, it seems to have gone better than all the others. But Sophie, woo! My daughter's here. Hi, Soph. Cedric, say hello to my daughter. Sophie, I had a candle burning beside the bed and forgot that it was there, and it's leaked wax all over the bedside cabinet. And Cedric said, don't burn the bedroom down. Oh, you no, I'll have a cup of tea. I like it quite strong with 1 sugar, please, Cedric. Sophie makes a nice cup of tea, don't you, Soph? I'll have a biscuit with it, Cedric. A nice rich tea, or a cup of tea and a slice of cake. Soph, I was about to go, but I'm not going to now. I'm going to stick around because you're here. Is that my Sophie or is it a different Sophie? Are you my Sophie or are you a different Sophie? My eyes aren't working. I can't see the picture properly. Talk to me. I've just made a right prat of myself if that's not my Sophie. Let me see. And she's not answering me. You've missed it all. I've been making a right wally of myself. I've been talking about God knows what. I've talked about Jen and how she's here with me in spirit. The candle that I lit, that I nearly burnt the room down with, is what I lit for Jen. And I was saying that she's here in spirit with me and she's guiding me and rolling her eyes every time I go off on a tangent and don't get to the point. And she'd be sitting here trying to make me laugh, a bit like you do, Sophie. It's telling me my live's going to end. Oh. It's saying it's inactive. We need to do some talking in chat. Come on, somebody needs to talk to me in chat because it thinks that I'm not here because I'm not typing or anything. So, hello, TikTok world. How are we all doing? Are we all good? I've just realised the number 30, there's 39. Yeah, that's my house number. 39 people viewing. I don't know whether that's actually people viewing. Hi, Abel. I never knew that TikTok did that. If there was no... I'm assuming it's done it because there was no text chat going on, but it said it was going to close my live session and I had to slide a little puzzle piece into the gap to prove I was still here. Has anybody had that happen to them? That's the first time I've seen it, but then this is only my fourth live, I think. Yeah, I had to slide a little puzzle piece into it. Anyway, after all that, back to what we were saying about oils invoking... no, not oils. Back to what I was saying on oils invoking memory. I'd still love to know if any of you have had that happen to them, where you've smelt something and it's brought back a forgotten memory. Like when I was saying that when I smelt fresh tobacco, it reminded me of my granddad because I used to sit on the arm of his chair and watch him fill his pipe. Have any of you had that? Does that resonate with any of you? And what fragrance was it? And what memory was it? Anyway, I am going to have to wind it up because I am really quite tired and I need to make sure I'm getting my sleep. So if you have just joined, I do apologise. I will be posting the full video and some clips onto my TikTok later, so you can follow afterwards and watch the whole wonderful experience from start to finish. But I do hope all of you have a wonderful evening, morning, midday, wherever it is you're in the world. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Stay safe, keep smiling, stay healthy, keep being positive. Positivity, positivity, positivity is important. And I will see you all again on my next live. Thank you everybody for joining me, and bye for now. Peace be with you.